Venture School is first and foremost a rigorous academic college prep high school, and everything else that we do is in support of preparing kids to go to college.
Well, I'm excited. I think it's a great new opportunity for public high school in Denver and the surrounding Denver area. It's the first of its kind with an entrepreneurship and leadership focus. I think we have great partners in terms of expeditionary learning and junior achievement, and we're excited to have 120 ninth graders coming in our doors in August.
It's a public school, it's a charter school, so it's free for students to attend, and admissions is by lottery.
Well, I think it fills kind of a void in that I don't think there's a charter school out there that really addresses entrepreneurial or enterprise type issues, and I think there's really a function there to be served. And coming from the business world, I'm very interested in seeing that the young people really get that kind of education.
We're shooting for 100% college admittance, and the entrepreneurship piece is great, but the fundamental college experience is also very important, I feel, for kids. And I believe this is a great way to kind of let them know that that option exists for everybody out there. Amy came to our Entrepreneurs Organization meeting and told us about the Denver Venture School. And my business has been around for about 4 years, becoming a little bit more mature rather than the startup it used to be. So I thought I had more time to contribute to something which gives back to the community. And this specific effort really resonated with me because it tied up entrepreneurship with education, both things being very important to me.
We've gotten incredible support for this school so far. The mayor was one of the first people to endorse this effort. Our charter application was unanimously approved by the Board of Education. We've raised about $1.5 million so far. Some of that support is coming from the Walton Family Foundation, which is probably the most generous but also the most critical supporter of charter schools, so their support is really important to us. We have about $500,000 in federal funding, and pretty much every major foundation in town has also supported this effort.
I really believe in the charter of experiential education. I have some familiarity with it, and I think it works very well for a lot of kids. I think that the business climate, or learning just general institutional organizational skills, are really important for everybody, regardless of whether they go forward and use them in a strict business environment, a commercial environment, a nonprofit environment, the day-to-day environment. So this one really caught my interest.
I think that there's so many people invested in the success of it. It's been a school that's been in the making for a long time that's finally ready to open its doors. We have great curriculum partnerships with Expeditionary Learning and Junior Achievement. We're going to be hiring a great group of teachers that are excited to be the pioneers in a new school in Denver, and it's just bound to be successful. There's too many people vested in its success for it to fail.
And I also like, again, the business slant of the Denver Venture School. It's something I find, I think it's going to be have a great deal of appeal for the community and the employers in the community.
Most of my colleagues tend to be in the business community, and we see the lack of skill sets that are needed a lot of times in the business community, and so we think it would be great to start the foundation earlier and earlier to get kids ready to get interested in the business community.
Students have 4 years of math, 4 years of science, 4 years of humanities, which is a combination of history and social studies, and 3 years of Spanish. But then on top of that, they have this really interesting entrepreneurial curriculum, which is actually something that we're doing in partnership with Junior Achievement. And ninth grade is really focused on basic skills and things like how do you look an adult in the eye and shake a hand and ask an intelligent question.
They'll come in, be greeted by their teachers. They'll start in a class that we call Crew, which will be a small group environment of their advisory teacher that really knows them as a whole child. One day a week we'll have a community meeting where the entire ninth grade will come together and talk about issues that appeal to all of them as a ninth grade community with all of their teachers. Then they'll have a humanities class, which is an English and social studies class. That'll be a 100-minute class that meets every day. They'll have math, and we'll use our integrated math program. And they'll have science classes where they'll get to learn how to use lab equipment, lab materials, learn the science standards. They'll have Spanish that will be taught by Bridge Lingua Tech, and we'll end our days with what we call academic support. So we'll be available after school to help students get all the personalized academic support they need so that they don't have the option to fail.
It's more on how do you start to figure out what it is that you as an individual like to do. I think that that's a challenging thing for kids to figure out. And it's not so much that we think 10th graders should know what they're going to do with the rest of their lives, but that they have some skills to be self-reflective and self-analytical, and that they also start to get realistic about what some of the paths they might choose will entail and what it takes to get there. What that culminates then is at the end of 10th grade, students form a team and they write a business plan for a business that they want to open. And then in 11th grade, the whole year, in addition to the core academic coursework, students open and run that business. And I always like to point out that it's not sort of playing at business, it's a real business. So students have to go to a bank and get financing, they have to have insurance, they have to have a board of directors, and at the end of that year they have to liquidate the company too. So they go through the whole cycle of a business.
I think any student that's looking for a small high school environment, that's looking for a college preparatory environment, that wants the support to get to the college of their choice. I think any student that wants to develop a skill set to be successful in high school and when they leave high school. Obviously, any student that's involved or interested in being involved in starting their own business, but just also any student that wants to learn how to be a leader and develop capacities to public speak in front of people, learn how to lead groups of people, and learn about themselves through a small school environment.